The Stoic way to make peace with loneliness. Loneliness. It is one of the deepest human pains. You can be surrounded by people yet feel unseen. You can have thousands of online connections yet feel utterly disconnected. You can share a bed with someone and still feel alone in your heart. We don't talk about loneliness enough because it carries shame. We fear that if we admit we're lonely, we'll be judged as weak or unwanted. But the truth is this: everyone experiences loneliness. And as the Stoics remind us, loneliness is not something to run from, but something to understand, embrace, and even make peace with. Because while solitude can wound, it can also transform. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic way to make peace with loneliness, why we feel it, what it means, and how the wisdom of ancient philosophy can turn loneliness into a path of strength, self-knowledge, and peace. The nature of loneliness. First, let's strip away the illusion. Loneliness is not just being physically alone. It is the sense of disconnection from others, from life, even from ourselves. Seneca once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Think about that. We spend much of our lives trying to escape being alone, through constant distraction, through noise, through endless scrolling. But when we run from loneliness, it only grows stronger. Loneliness is not the enemy. It's a signal, a call to turn inward, to reconnect with ourselves, and to discover that peace does not depend on others being around us. Why we fear loneliness? Why does loneliness hurt so much? Because as humans, we are wired to belong, to be seen, to be valued, to share. When that connection feels missing, it feels like a wound. But here's the mistake we often make. We believe that the cure for loneliness is always found in others. More friends, more attention, more love. But the Stoics remind us that the cure is found within. MarcusAurelius, emperor of Rome, surrounded by power and people, still felt isolation. Yet he wrote, "Men seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, in the mountains. You are able at any time to retreat into yourself." The truth is this: if you cannot sit comfortably with yourself, no crowd will heal your loneliness. Solitude versus loneliness. Here's a powerful Stoic insight. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness is being alone and feeling empty. Solitude is being alone and feeling whole. The difference is not in circumstance, it's in perspective. Epictetus taught, "When you are alone, be careful not to say you are lonely. You are alone by yourself, and you can enjoy the company of your mind." The Stoics trained themselves to see solitude as an opportunity, a time to sharpen the mind, to strengthen virtue, to reflect, to write, to practice gratitude. When you make peace with solitude, loneliness begins to lose its power. The Stoic way of reframing loneliness. So, how do we turn loneliness into strength? Through the Stoic practice of reframing. Instead of asking, "Why am I alone?" ask, "What can I build in this space of solitude?" Instead of thinking, "No one is here for me," think, "This is my time to be here for myself." Instead of seeing loneliness as emptiness, see it as spaciousness, a chance to breathe, to think, to grow. Seneca wrote beautifully, "The wise man is content with himself. He does not need friends in order to live happily. Though he desires them, yet he is capable of living happily without them." Notice, he doesn't reject friendship or love, but he reminds us, True peace is not dependent on their constant presence. Stoic practices for peace with loneliness. Here are 5 Stoic practices to help you transform loneliness into inner strength. 1. Journaling your mind. The Stoics wrote constantly. Marcus Aurelius's meditations were his private reflections, written not for others, but for himself. When you feel lonely, write. Empty your thoughts onto paper. It is a way of speaking to yourself, of being your own companion. 2. Negative visualization. Imagine losing the connections you now take for granted. This may sound painful, but it awakens gratitude. When you return to reality, you realize you are not as alone as your loneliness tries to convince you you are. 3. Cultivating self-sufficiency. Practice doing simple things alone without fear. Eating by yourself, walking without your phone, sitting in silence. Each act strengthens your ability to be content in your own company. 4. Shifting desire to virtue. Instead of craving constant validation, crave wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are companions no one can take from you. 5. Serving others quietly. Paradoxically, one of the best ways to heal loneliness is to step outside yourself and serve. Write a kind note. Help a stranger. Call someone in need. In giving connection, we often receive it back in the most unexpected ways. Loneliness as a teacher. Here's the paradox. Loneliness, when accepted, becomes a teacher. It teaches us self-reliance. It teaches us to value true friendship rather than shallow company. It teaches us that peace does not come from the crowd, but from the soul. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. Your soul is your true home, and when you learn to return there, loneliness loses its sting. Applying Stoic wisdom today. In today's hyper-connected world, loneliness has become more widespread than ever before. We are constantly online, but rarely truly present. We are surrounded by people, yet often feel invisible. The Stoic way offers us a radical solution. Instead of trying to escape loneliness through endless distraction, sit with it, study it, ask what it is teaching you, and then, little by little, turn loneliness into solitude, a space not of emptiness, but of strength. Loneliness is not a curse. It is a mirror, reflecting back our need to know ourselves more deeply. The Stoics teach us that when you make peace with being alone, you are never truly lonely again, because you carry your greatest companion within, your own mind, guided by virtue. Remember this truth. The person who learns to sit in silence with themselves is the one who will never be enslaved by the fear of being alone. Make peace with loneliness, and you will find freedom, strength, and a deeper connection to life itself. If this video spoke to your heart, remember this: loneliness is not a prison. It is a doorway to self-knowledge, gratitude, and peace. So ask yourself today, am I running from loneliness, or am I learning from it? Thank you for watching. If you found value in this reflection, please like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom each week. Until next time, be strong, be still, and discover the peace that was within you all along.